Hi guys, welcome back to this week's video. We're going to be talking about stick welding, or some people might call it arc welding, and the proper term is MMA, metal manual arc, but 99% of the people call it either arc welding or stick welding. Today we're going to be using 6013s, the known over here as soft rods. You will get the 7016s and 7018s, which are low hydrogen, but normally used for heavy wall structural steel, heavy wall piping. Power stations would use it because of heavy wall piping, say like 50 mil pipe, 2-inch pipe, 2-inch wall thickness, stuff like that, maybe even 80 mil, 3-inch. But for today's video now, we're just going to use the 6013s soft rods. We have a bit of 10 or 12 mil plate here. It's the only bit of scrap around I have. And yeah, shall we get to it? Now what you need to do is try and clean your workpiece that you're going to be using on. So you can see there where it's all rusty, so I just give it a wire brush. You don't really need to grind off the mill scale. It does help, but the welding rods, the stick welding rods will actually weld through that fairly handy. They will burn that off. Now if it is really rusty, you are better off to give it a good grinding with the grinding disc, but for this, for a bit of practice work, it'll do it fine. So on the welding rods, they give you a range of temperature and diameter of what you want to set your welding pad at. So we're using the 3.2s, not too sure if you can see that now or not, and we're going to be welding at between 90 and 150 amps. So today we're going to be using this little thermal arc. So I like to try and keep it at around just slightly over the 100 amps. It's probably maybe 105 there at the moment. So there's no hot start on this, so we just flick it up to make sure it's on manual arc, and yeah, that should do that. Now sometimes it will stick on you, but if you go in at too straight of an angle, what would happen is your welding rod might actually weld to your plate, and then you'll be there fighting with it and it won't come off for you. So if you can just do a small little scratch. Now, but it happens all the time, happens to me as well. She will stick a small bit starting off. I don't have what's called a hot start on my welder there, so if you had a hot start, you could set your amps maybe 10 amps hotter than you wanted. And so when you strike, she's 10 amps hotter, and she'll stay hotter for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then you can continue on. So with a hot start, she's less likely to get stuck on you there. But on my little welder, all I have is a little small thermal arc, 175 amp. She have no hot start. So now and again she does stick, but the main thing is not to let your welder rod weld to the plate, because if you do, you banjax your flux there, and you may just throw the rod away. So what the flux is for? The flux on the welding rod is to keep impurities, keep your weld from actually oxidizing. So when you're welding away, what will happen is you'll have gases in this flux as well. So the gases will shield your weld pool. The flux will come over. Shield is what's left over from the welding rod, and that will cover your weld as you're welding down. So you'll have a gas plus your flux, and then your pool, so your pool won't get oxidized. And as I've seen before, that is the bit of flux that comes off the welding rod. So after you're striking, you come back on yourself. So strike your rod like a little match, and move back maybe 10 mil or so, get your pool going, and come back. And what will happen is you will actually burn away where you started. There might be any impurities or inconsistencies or a bit of porosity there. You will continue on down, keeping a consistent gap around the 3 mil or so if you can, whilst feeding in, and keep your rod at a little angle towards you, because what happens is then you will actually send the slag back the way. So keeping a good eye on your puddle and your rod, and also you have to keep an eye on your slag. If the slag gets in front of you, you're you're going to get what's called slag traps. So always drag a welding rod towards you at a slight angle like that. Yeah, you never push a welding rod. If you push a welding rod, what will happen is the slag will get trapped up, and what will happen, you'll end up with little holes in your welds. So always drag towards you as best you can. Now when you're welding, you will also need a good shield. Now this one is around a while. It's after seeing me over 20 odd years or more. I always wear glasses. What could happen is that sometimes slag does jump, so it's better to have a pair of safety glasses on. Right, yeah, so look at, put on the shield and put on the glasses. Gloves also needed, and we do a bit of welding. Now, and again we'll wire wheel it again. Well, it does happen to everybody that you will stick a small bit, but the main thing is not to get it jammed in, because if you get it jammed in, your welding rod will actually weld straight to the piece of steel, piece of plate you're welding on. So same thing as I always try and do, just a light little scratch. So it does happen that you will stick, but don't let it stick completely, that it'll weld to the plate. Now once you can see the slag rising like that, you know you have a good temperature done, a nice travel speed done, and the right settings on your welder. So that's a nice weld there now. Now, in this clip you can see that the welding rod is far too hot. My travel speed has to increase to keep up with the rod that's being burnt. Very hard to control the weld, and not good at all. An awful lot of spatters. So here you have it where the arc length is too long. We're probably 4 or 5 mil away from where we should be. You can see the welding rod cuts out all the time, so it won't keep a proper arc with the metal. So what happens then is you get an awful lot of spatters. The metal actually heats up an awful lot more, and you just get an all-round bad weld. Lots of impurities, probably lots of porosity, and just a very poor weld. In this one now we go the opposite way. We have our arc length too short, so we're kind of back into the pool itself. The weld is actually slows down an awful lot. The flux wants to kind of pass you out, and what will happen is you'll end up with slag getting trapped in front of you. And here we are now where the temperature is turned down really cold, and just another poor weld. So here you can see we're doing a couple of stop starts, which is also very handy to practice while you're doing the plates on the flat. Comes in handy for when you're tacking up bits and pieces. Now on these ones, the top two runs, we put them in at the proper temperature. As I said before, 110 amps or so, nice consistent travel speed. And these two then, or these three now, we were say lengthening our arc. I was showing you what I was like say when the arc was too long. So we were about 5 or 6 mil away from where we should have been. We were finding it very hard to keep the pool going. There was an awful lot of big spatters going out. Sometimes she was actually cutting out, so we lost our arc. So we had to re-engage again. This one here then, we put down to 80 amps, which didn't come out too bad, but still a little bit narrower than these top two. And then this last one here was where we went up to maybe 160, 170 amps, way too hard. We actually have a small little slide trap there, but a lot wider than the rest of them. So, and again came over here down the end of a rod here nearly. So we really burnt it out altogether. So if you could keep them all like that out there, and the main thing is to get plenty of practice. Just keep practicing your straight runs, your technique. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a video there today. Just the main thing is just to keep practicing, that's all. Once you keep practicing, you'll get there. Practice makes perfect, as I say. But look, I'm going to leave it there for today, sure. And if you do enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up as usual. Leave a comment down below, and if you want to know any more about welding, just throw it down in the comment box and I'll reply to them all. And sure, look, go on, we'll catch you in the next one, alright? Good luck, bye bye.